Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, am I audible?
You are.
I
can hear you.
Thank you very much. It's such a beautiful day for a very beautiful ceremony. We want to very, very specially welcome every member of this participating team. So we have our agenda set out for today. It is about a celebration of the achievement of our teacher, an astute researcher, a globally recognized scholar. So today is part of the celebrations to showcase some of his legacies. So we have the agenda drawn out, but before then, we are going to ask Dr. Odediri to jumpstart with an opening prayer. Dr. Odediri. Dr. Odediri.
I can hear you, please.
Please, yes, please, you can start with an opening prayer.
Okay. Good morning, sirs and mass. Shall we have a short prayer? Our Father, we want to thank you for this beautiful day you have made. We want to thank you for the grace you have given us to be alive. We want to thank you for the strength to participate in this week-long program. I want to thank you for the success stories we have recorded already. We are grateful for giving us yet another opportunity to interact together. And as we come together to celebrate one of our own, we ask that your spirit will lead us in everything we will do in Jesus' name. We pray that throughout the meeting and even beyond the meeting, your peace will dwell upon every participant in Jesus' name. And by the time the meeting is over, give us reasons to praise you again, Lord. Thank you because you have answered us. And we have prayed in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you very much. We have very eminent personalities in the house.
Amen.
From OAU Ileife, from Lautech, from UI, from Ireland, from the US. We have the crowd building up, all for one reason, to celebrate with our teacher, to celebrate with our father in the academic world. So the program has two parts for today. The first part is showcasing videos of the legacy project that were commissioned yesterday and at some other time. Then we also have opportunities for exchange of, for airing encomiums on the celebrant. And that is part A and B. For the part A, we have the pre-recorded encomiums. And the part B, we have created opportunities for live transmission of the encomium. So with the permission of the House, we will call on the Dean. Is the Dean in the audience? My Dean. Dean of Agriculture, OAU. Dean, Faculty of Agriculture. Okay. The head of Department, Animal Sciences, OAU. HOD, ANS, OAU.
Please unmute yourself, HOD.
Still muted. Okay. As we are waiting for him and the Dean very briefly to put in a minute of contribution, we'll do a brief recognition. We'll start with the celebrant and the wife.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, we allow you. Please go on. A word or two for a minute or two, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Soni. I would like to greet everybody in the house for joining up at this particular moment with us, where we are celebrating an academic giant, a leader in his own right, a good teacher, a good researcher, and a good community leader. We thank God for how far He has helped us in this celebration. We plan to make it a week, but the way it is now, I think everything started last week, almost a 2-week program to celebrate. That shows the type of person he is. And since we started as a department on Monday, a lot of things have been said, have been put in place to celebrate this great achiever. We are happy for him that he's alive to be celebrated, and most of the things that he has done for people that are appreciating him, everything is coming to bear while he's very much alive. Thank God for his life. Thank God for what he has been able to do for humanity. And thank God for, particularly for what he has been able to do for the department. So many of his projects were, so some of his projects were commissioned on Tuesday. The Vice Chancellor was around. And these are legacy projects, projects that will last for a very long time. Thank God for using him. And it's a prayer that as he's retiring tomorrow, the good Lord will be with him. We have good heads, and everything that is going to do henceforth, the good Lord shall be with him, and he shall see many more years in good and sound health. I want to appreciate most importantly the local organizing committee, ably shared by Professor S.O. Seni. From the records we have in the department, this is first of its kind. I'm not sure anybody has retired in the department and the person is being celebrated like this. I didn't even know that the depth and content would be as rich as this. My own thought then as HOD was to move from the usual tradition of having a day to wine and dine, because I know professional is beyond setting a day aside for him to just, okay, come around, let us eat and drink. I just felt maybe something more should be done than the tradition we have in the department. And look at what Professor Zeni and his team has come up with. Since Monday, everything loaded. Monday was extremely loaded. Tuesday, loaded. Yesterday was loaded. Today again. We're going to have a very full day again. So thank you very much, Professor Zeni, and members of your team, Dr. Dedire, Dr. Adeyemi, Orishashona. I want to appreciate you, and the department is pleased, extremely pleased with what you have done to celebrate this, our father, to celebrate this icon. And I wish us a very fruitful engagement in the course of the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. So this is still preambles. We want to give special recognitions to all members of the participating team. We have, starting with the celebrant and the celebrant's wife, Professor and Professor Mrs. Sonaiya. We have in the audience from multiple locations across the whole world. On the list here, we have Akangwe Esther, we have Dr. Adeyemi, who is a member of the committee. We have Professor Adesanyiwa connecting. We have Oguntumeyin connecting. Professor Dixon Toriburu, Professor Emiola from Lautech. We have doctoral student Habib Bashiru. We have my colleague Dr. Dudu Shola. We have Professor Yomitogun. We have Gunyemi Kayode, our chief technologist. We have Professor Jabi again. We have Professor Luma Kaye, Professor Deyinka. We have Professor Shorinyon. We have Dr. Abegunde. We have Ushifeko is connecting from Germany. We have Victor Lori from Ireland. We have Dr. Professor Jaya, I think. We have, and so many others. We have Mr. D and more that are coming in. Is the dean in the house already? If not, I'm going to crave your permission to jumpstart. He can join later on. I am moderating this program, and also assisting me is Dr. Odedire. So in case there are fluctuations in the network, and we are co-moderating. So thank you very much. Is it the permission of the House to start the video clip of the commissioning ceremonies now? Okay,
Yes.
so we can jumpstart with that, please. But before then, I want to especially thank Mr. Tosin Odubela, who is providing the services to anchor this program and for tomorrow's program. So Tosin, you are very highly appreciated. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
This is the legacy building. This building, prior to March this year, was like any of these buildings you see beside it, made of wooden structure. The courtesy of Professor Sonaiya, we were able to transform the building from its wooden frame now completely to block frame. You can see the front part is now made of block as well as the back. And the interesting thing is that we did all this modification without pulling down the building. So what we did was to first reinforce the building with iron frame, and then leaving the roof intact. We were able to do all the block walls around it. And after that, we also introduced a number of innovations into the building to make it stand out and to make it serve a multi-functional purpose in terms of research. You can see here, this is biodigester units where we use poultry or any other animal dung to make biogas, and the gas is channeled into the building to be used to heat up a special room that is housing the building cages, which is another innovation that we're going to show when we go into the building. Also on the outer part, the building is also conditioned to serve the purpose of experiment that has to do with rural poultry. Since you can see extension that is completely covered with impermeable wire netting, protected from all forms of predators to the chicken. And here the birds can come out from inside the pen, come into the open to forage on pasture, on ants, and whatever they can get from the greenery, and they have the access to move in and move out at any time that they wish to do. So this is the first of its kind on this farm. So with this, the building can serve more than one purpose. We can raise birds on the floor. We can raise birds in the cages. We can do metabolic trials, experiments inside the cages, and we also can supply heat in a more environmental friendly manner rather than the use of charcoal or the expensive liquefied gas that we used to, or using electricity. We have the store where we store equipment used used within the building, feeder, drinkers, and whatever. Store there, and we also have an office for use by staff and students that are on experiments, so that they have a convenient place to take their data and record their data. And you can see the inside now. You can see the partitions, you can see the netting. And one thing we did was, in renovating this place, we used the best of materials available in the market. This is the airbag where the gas, biogas, is stored when produced from outside. It's stored there. And from there, we are channeling into this pen. This is the pen for brooding day-old chicks. And unlike before, now we are not going to be brooding our chicks on the floor again. Although we can do that, we still have permission for that. But we can also breed them in the cages, that is, without the chicks having anything to do with their feces right from day old. So these cages are customized cages. They were specially built, constructed to house day-old chicks. And the total capacity here is at day-old up to about 4 weeks, it can contain up to 1,400 chicks. So as they grow older, then they can reduce gradually to final capacity of 760 bulbs. And the water supply is directly automatic from the main tank outside. So it only has 4 valves controlled. So the issue of water running out or water getting finished is out of it. These are the partitions for raising older birds, from where they can also go into the orange area outside the fence, into the pasture area, where they can get sunlight in the sun rich, get fresh supply of soil materials and worms, and even they can pick on weeds. You can see this place is well covered with galvanized mesh that protect the chick from any kind of predator, snakes, hawk, dogs, or whatever. They are protected. Unlike before, when we used to wrap the brooding pen with nylon and whatever paper in such a way that it's so difficult to roll up and roll down. I think it's a very simple technology to cover up the brooding pen. Just and come up. Okay. Right. And the gas tank over there, the pipe goes to the ceiling and comes down. So from here, you can control it and that's biogas from chicken and cow dung. the department, the faculty, and the university has dedicated it. Because imagine somebody retiring and leaving this kind of thing behind, spending his own personal money to put this behind so that he wants to remember for good, and that is what we always remember him for good.
Two things I would want to say. The first is the fact that this faculty, the faculty of Departmental University are always committed to cultural research in this country. So I know that anytime people talk about agricultural research, usually Departmental University actually. So, but at one point in time, it looked like we were gradually losing eclipse. So yeah, thank you, sir. So we were actually eclipse. And what Professor Sonaiya has done now, is actually to bring us back. And I want to say, sir, that this is right in the vision of the current management of the university, because we've been talking to the faculty to say, in fact, we've had several meetings, with the people in the faculty to say, what we can't revive everything at the same time. So let us concentrate on 2 or 3, areas that we really, want to focus on. And the poetry, happen to be one. So, and we've been talking about poetry, but looking at the innovation now in terms of the biogas. So I think that by itself is also something else, but combining it with this one, gives me, the hope that we will always be ahead in terms of what we want to do. So thank you very much for pioneering. That's the first thing. The second thing that I also want to say is that we have a challenge in the university, and we try to approach that challenge in several ways. When this university was founded, it was founded on the anchored on 3 A's. Academics, agriculture, and aesthetics. In terms of aesthetics, the founding father did it. Academics is a struggle, to uphold that. But our vision of the forefathers for agriculture has never been fulfilled. That's why we have all this vast land. And now there is a challenge. People feel that if you cannot use the land, return it. Give it back to us. And we are facing, enormous, and it will continue. So things like this, will help us, to retain, that which has been given to us 60 years ago. So it's a great thing, and it's a model, which we have to follow. So we thank you very much, sir, for, taking this lead. But in as much as we know that you are retired, we know that you are not tired. And if not for, the records, nobody will even believe that you are 70 at all. So, and on that basis, it is my pleasure, to actually commission this modern coaching facility. In the name of the Father, Amen. The Son, Amen. And the Holy Spirit. Amen. This is fantastic. Before now,
you are my employer, you know how much you pay me. And you know that I could not have been able to get this money. The money, all the money, without exception, came from my last project, the African chicken genetic gain in Nigeria. Before you came in, OAU was approved to be the coordinating center for that project. And so we started the project, but most of it is off campus. In Kebbi, in Nasarawa, Kwara, Imo, Rivers. And I was asking myself, what would be the gain of OAU? So I wrote into the project certain refurbishment of poultry facilities. Madam, come and stand back. We started this together. So I wrote into the project refurbishment of poultry facilities. Then I also added refurbishment of lab facilities. Those are the two that I added. The one for the data warehouse, I just raised money from. So how did I get it? I made it clear that OAU deserves to have money from this project. When I was the coordinator, I could control the budget. So I made sure that there was enough money safeguarded for that. So by the time the project would end, I then asked that this money should be sent for OAU. And when it came, so maybe the only thing I can give is I didn't see it. I just plan my retirement. I want to appreciate God. Thank you, Lord, for yourself. Who is actually a father in this house. And has been a role model right from the time I came into the system. Because I could actually see the system spirit. It's not the selfish type. This is what we are seeing now. It's actually you are beyond the local person, the national person. You are actually a global. I think it's important to realize the fact that whenever the university has called on any occasion, we are always applied. So that is something that is very rare. Well, first of all, I want to thank our Vice Chancellor, team, faculty, HODs here, our professors, our colleagues from within and outside. I want to thank Professor Sonaiya, his family, because all these things that are put in place here, they are not going to end today. Those who are not yet, who don't have admission for now, we still enjoy so many years to come. I want to thank him. Pray that as he has blessed the faculty, the Lord will continue to bless him and his family in Jesus' name.
This is Poultry Meat Research Laboratory, Department of Animal Sciences, Faculty of Agriculture, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ileife. My name is Ogunyemika Emmanuel, technologist in charge of the lab. What we do in this laboratory is that we carry out what is known as proximate analysis. And proximate analysis is a special scheme designed to know a considerable number of nutrients that are present in any feedstock and as prepared by animals. This is hot air oven, which is being used to dry the sample. This hot air oven, once you weigh your sample, then transfer it to the hot air oven and dry at 70 degrees centigrade and allow it to cool in desiccator. This is the desiccator. This is the desiccator. So after which now we have molecular toledo analytical balance, and we have oral analytical balance. For the ash content that I mentioned, this is immobilized. These are sample weight. When it's very hard, you want to remove weight. What we call safety pump. This is safety pump. You remove carefully into the desiccator. So, in general, distilling units where you distill your sample. The sample being digested is placed in the glass shell and the same piece at this place. Place here. This is distilling unit. Very scientific data. It's other cigar distilling units. Used to determine the percentage of nitrogen and percentage of protein of the given sample. And this is oxygen drug calorimeter used to determine the calorific value of any given sample, that is the energy value of any sample. And this is water distillation unit. Is being used to determine to prepare distilled water used in preparing chemical reagents in the laboratory. The digester system that I mentioned the other time is enclosed in film cover. The film cover is charged the poisonous gases outside so that one will not inhale it while the operation is off. But the digester system is being enclosed in film cover. Before, it used to be outside, and then when food is being nitrated during the digestion, we used to inhale it. But now, when I told Professor Sonaiya about it, he provided us with a very good film cover. And now, when during the digestion, while carrying out digestion, the film is being charged into the atmosphere. So we are no more inhaling the film coming out during the digestion process. Yeah, the lab was resuscitated last year, August, exactly. Like, it got to a time when I went to meet with Professor Sonaiya about this lab, that most of the equipment are obsolete. And it came to assist the department as a whole. And all the equipment today has been purchased by Professor E.D. Sonaiya. And the lab is now okay, functioning very well.
All of us emulate this good work that you are leaving for us as a legacy. So it's my pleasure to commission this in the name of the Father, Amen. The Son, Amen. And the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Benches they've just been supplied in Nigeria. Animal Science Department houses in Nigeria. It's very elementary, the fundamental of what we do here. Without this, most of the things we do here cannot really. So now we are happy that even 10, 20 students can be around at a time, and their work goes very fast.
We have the AMS OAU Data Warehouse Lab. The goal of this lab is to build capacity for harnessing data in animal sciences for wealth creation. That all the data generated for projects do not end up in the shell. That projects will not end up in the shell. So we have a facility here through a Google Cloud server for storing all the data for now and previous records, including all the research conducted in animal sciences. So this was funded by the Celebrant. Part of it too is to promote e-learning through Moodle. That is already in place for the department. Almost all of our courses have been uploaded. But more importantly, sir, we run virtual services to the entire university community through this roadways. And a good example was the concept node development, which was anchored to this way. So in a nutshell, sir, we have this lab trying a new landscape for harnessing data for development. All the capacities for understanding data, for utilizing data are here, including very advanced software. We have the service provider, Mr. Tosin Mutubela, on contract for a year, paid for by the Celebrant, and all the equipment are inside. The data warehouse now to use it. Honestly speaking, I wouldn't have been too happy sincerely if we lose those particular ones. Because for me, I see this as one. In fact, when I said both beyond the department of animal science, so this is part of what I was actually referring to. This is beyond the department of animal science. It's beyond the faculty of animal. And the entire university is benefiting from this one. So it's my pleasure to commission this in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I think it's okay. I can, yes, sir. As you can see, that we have power here. There is 24/7. There is always power because we have an inverter unit. So there's no issue of power outage there. We are always working. Our channels we have a number of software we also run. We also have the capacity for quite a number of documentaries and developing apps and all of that.
he has contributed immensely to the image of the university.
And also there is a sense of, there's a nationalist mindset. There's absolutely no evidence of discrimination across all fronts.
You cannot hate him, even if you don't like him. The first day I met him, I saw that he's a strong person. But I also noticed that he has a very strong intellect.
For a very long time in the department, the lab that he established from one of his grants was the only functional lab in the department.
Till date, it's one of the most celebrated deans of the faculty.
From what we said before is published in the last 5 years, he published 20 papers.
I would have loved that this kind of a man be made emeritus professors immediately.
He started as being my teacher. That was the first thing. But we became close during the period of supervision of my BA Agric thesis. And that was when the mentorship actually started. And as we are talking, he's making his doctors, his deductions. One does not always agree. But he's humble enough to say later, if it's wrong, so I have a classical example which I will not go to a decent interview where I wanted to take a decision and he informed me, he asked for my opinion, which I did. He disagreed with me, but later I was told that. And he acknowledged it. God is very advocate. So you cannot be his mentee if they are busy. You cannot be friends. That's what it is. You will think that, oh, God doesn't like you. No, he likes everyone. But if you are busy, you cannot tolerate it. You cannot even be his mate, he will run away. That's why some people, they have the wrong impression of him, that because Sonaiya doesn't like me, he doesn't do. God doesn't have time for frivolities. He doesn't have time for business is business. So don't go to something that I want to greet you. During your official hours, that's the kind of person he is. So, but if you go with him with a problem, then you discuss the solution. If it's within that academic, not that it doesn't relate to other matters, but it should be the order of the day. After all, before I got married, I went to him because I realized that this man and his wife, from my own perspective and observations, that they were together. And I said that I want to make them, I want to have a good home. And I went to him. He has forgotten because I reminded him something a few years back. He gave me a wise counsel that is still with me today.
We both attend the same fellowship, Nigerian Christian Graduate Fellowship. I believe I served as secretary when he served as chairman or president of the fellowship. And that was a learning time for me because we drew up programs and activities for the fellowship. And when you make a suggestion, people ask you to support your point to see whether others can buy in. So that's how I got to know the celebrants. We listened to a tape recently and someone said, you cannot write a thesis in animal science without quoting E.B. Sonaiya. That is something that money cannot buy. And he has won so many grants to this university. He does challenge people to do deep thinking or analysis of issues. When you talk, he doesn't just take statements at face value. He will ask questions that will make you think deeper on why you are holding that particular position, or whether it's just a sentimental, emotional, or following the crowd kind of thing. And he will make you see. It's a kind of eat and let people eat syndrome, not hiding information of what he had benefited from.
He has inspired us beyond words about knowledge, about capacity building, about inspiration, about technologies and innovation in the academia. And a very good example is the ANS OAU Data Warehouse Project, initiated by him as a legacy project. That was last year. And what is the goal behind this project? It's simple. How do we inspire current and upcoming generation about data, about harnessing data for development, about data for wealth creation, in tune with the global mood now about knowledge economies. Any advanced economies don't run on crude oil, they run on knowledge-based economies. And the base of that is data. And the world is moving ahead, and that was what motivated the celebrant through our regular consultations. That how do we turn around how do we drive a whole new line of inspiration in our teaching, in our research, in our outreach through data. Again, that is a very huge legacy beyond the physical project, the impact on our thought process. How do we change or what is our response to changing landscape? The COVID hit the global economy and the humanity in total is trying to adapt. And part of the adaptation strategies from the celebrant, Professor Sonaiya, to us is, well, the whole world is going online. All meetings and e-learning have been migrated to virtual platforms. As a department and as a faculty and as a university, we cannot afford to go to sleep. Immediately, the ANSOAU data warehouse had another feature adapted to e-learning. And the whole department was mobilized, courses were uploaded, individuals were trained on the opportunity to train and retrain staff, and even students have accounts on the e-learning platform as part of the ANSOAU data warehouse infrastructure. Again, these are real lessons. Beyond the DWA, the data warehouse infrastructure, is the mental impact to some of us. Now, how do you continuously adapt to changing times and to changing landscape? How do you be on top of the game, literally? And I think these are very crucial lessons from the study.
I will say that my story with Prof started from the stage of our recruitment. That was in March 2006. One thing that I would say God used to give us a good leverage here, because it would be interesting to note that I didn't have any of my degrees. So I didn't pass through OAU for all my university education. But we got to understand much later, after we have resumed, that it was Prof's idea that when it comes to recruitment, you should throw it open. That is always a fantastic idea to have cross-fertilization of ideas about things. So when we talk in terms of innovation, I see him as an embodiment of innovation. So it was on that basis that the department took a stand that any vacancy should be thrown open, advertised in the national dailies, and let everybody come. And whoever is fit for the job, you take it. And it also interests you to know that the present crop of the academic members of staff in the department, I would say like 60% of us are from outside. Number two thing that is remarkable about Prof was that right from the moment we came in, Prof is always putting us on our toes. I cannot forget, because it stuck with me, that maybe the first 3 years of my assumption of duty, Prof was studying, and I never knew. By the time the issue of promotion came up, Prof called me and he said, look, you are publication shy. Your feet stuck me. Of course, we'll be hearing about issues of either publish or perish, but you know, I thought I could just move at my own pace and the likes. And the beautiful thing, when Prof felt you are measuring up, he also called you. Because there was a time again he called me and said, now I could see that you are improving.
Is a man that is difficult to describe in some words. What simply put is a essential academic giant. He has a big fame academically in the Ahmed, Akoti University, even in Nigeria as well. He's a mentor, a good teacher, and I'm so happy that he's alive to be celebrated this time. He has paid his dues. And to me, he has a very big frame academically, and it's difficult for anybody to really fit into that. His structure academically is so magnificent in my view that trying to catch up and trying to be like him and take some time. So he's one in a generation stuff. Since I came in, he has so distinguished himself in so many areas, so academically. And honestly, he has only one interest, the way I see him, the interest of the system. He's someone that doesn't have a friend or a foe, but essentially if you apply yourself to how to develop the system, then you're on the same page with him. However friendly you are with him, if you are not doing the right thing, you will see it boldly written in his face. So it doesn't have group, it doesn't second to him. It has never happened to anybody in this town.
I met Bob for the first time during my interview 4 years ago. He was on the interview panel, and he was one of the people that asked me a few questions. And since I joined the department, I have learned a lot from him. Though I'm not close to him, I'm not so close to him as some other senior colleagues, but I have learned a lot, even from the little I pick when he speaks during seminar, when he speaks during staff meetings, when he has one-on-one, when I've had one-on-one encounter with him, discussion. He has dropped so many points that make me know that academics, there's more to academics than maybe we have gotten from other sources, one way or the other. And one particular thing that really sank into me since I met him was this aspect of grantmanship. There was a day I was forced to go through his CV. That's this prof that is always talking about grants. Let me just see what has been done in that line. I'm still on it. I've not yet achieved it, but I know I will achieve it because I know that I have picked that from him. The debt I had before about grant was not as much as I've gotten from him, which I believe by those days I'm going to build on. And based on this, on his achievement and his impact in the department as a whole, in animal science as a profession, I wish him a very fruitful retirement. And I pray that he will enjoy more years in good health in Jesus' name. I pray that God will bless him for the impact he has made on this generation. Because he's one of the people that has left a landmark, a legacy. I can imagine celebrating somebody for, it's even more than a week now that he has been celebrating him. I appreciate him. And I pray that God will continue to bless him in all his endeavors after here in Jesus' name.
I've known groups of Sonaiya for quite some time. When I came back from the UK as a fresh PhD holder in the late 80s, Professor Sonaiya was one of the people we heard about in the university. He was a prominent scholar. Everybody around talks about him. I know him also to be a very good speaker. He talks very, very frequently about grantsmanship. He's been in our faculty a number of times to speak on grantsmanship, and his presentations were well received, and they must have impacted very significantly on the way people do research in the university. I also know that he's on top of issues. He's never found wanting discussing issues on development, on academic progress, and so on. My general impression about him is a brilliant man. He is mentally alert and he's never found wanting discussing any particular any subject matter at absolute level. Flow hard. Found him speak on many issues and spoke very, very brilliantly well. I also know him to be a very confident person. And you know, when you are confident, it's not just being brilliant. It's also that you have a basis, you are interested in details. That's why we are confident. And this is an attribute that's very, very difficult to ignore. His integrity. Is always, the things that I know about him are constant. The way he does his things are really constant. You can always say, this is a position that Prof is going to take on a particular subject matter. And for me, these are elements of integrity that young people should actually know about. People should know you for what you are, and you should be consistent in the way you do things. I found quite a lot of things like this in the life of Professor Sonaiya. One other thing that I noted that I really do not want to go away with is his determination to excel. I think I've come to believe that it's getting to where he got to. It's not just a matter of being capable, it's also a matter of being perseverant, being able to continue in dealing with the subjects that he is interested in. And I think this is one of the things I saw in, from some of the things we heard from people around him. He was very, very consistent in the way he does his thing. I think it's something that I personally learned, that we need to be consistent, to be perseverant, to be very generous. And when you are talking about generosity, it's not about giving money. There are things that are more precious than money for an academic. It's time. When you are willing to engage your colleagues, spending the little time you have to share your own ideas or encourage them to take decisions, I think it's a valuable contribution to humanity. I found that over the years, Prof is very, very willing to, and I gave an illustration. One time I was concerned about pigeons. I know there are so many pigeons around that people were talking about. And I remember I was exchanging with him that you don't hit pigeon. Pigeons are meant to be ritualistic animals. And it was the first person who told me that, look, yes, but in other parts of the world and here, you can hit pigeon. They are meant for consumption.
As far as I can remember, the first thing I like to say about Professor Sonaiya is that he is a hard worker. He works around the clock. And that is my honest opinion of him. Anytime you wanted to see him, just be sure that the car there's a section he normally parks in the faculty. Just, once you sight the car, he goes to his office, you will find him writing something, mailing somebody, doing one thing or the other. And the moment you came in, you will suspend whatever it is. He will attend to you with a smile. And of course, he will welcome you. And the talk will begin. So invariably, Professor Sonaiya is highly sociable. He relates with everybody very, very cordially. He relates especially with younger colleagues. You cannot go to Professor Sonaiya and come out without a challenge that will spur you to do more research, to look for a grant to apply for, and to do something that will cause you to make progress in your academics. That's the man, Professor Sonaiya. And I like the way he normally smiles. It shows you are welcome to him any day, anytime. In short, sometimes he will leave his office and come to my own office, and that's what he does for some other colleagues also. He will come to my office, he will ask about what I'm doing, he will challenge me. I remember when I became senior lecturer, he said, "Oh, you have become senior lecturer, congratulations, now move on to become a professor." It was as if you wouldn't even need to become a leader before becoming a professor. But that's the man. He wants you to move. He wants you to, make good contribution to academics. And I must tell you that when it comes to research grants, Professor E.B. Sonaiya is a grant winner.
For Professor E.B. Sonaiya, since 1999 that I joined the Department of Animal Sciences as a staff, have been very close to him and have benefited a lot from him, and I'm sure the same thing is applicable to many other
and not only me as a person, but the department, the faculty, and the university has benefited a lot. It's done, it creates a lot for the department, for the faculty, and it has shown us a lot of light that nothing is impossible. That actually what is needed to do things is just the will and the effort. So I want to wish Professor Sonaiya the very best as he moves on to the next phase of his life. He has in retirement.
Excellence is the word. God doesn't believe in wishy-washy things. He wants things to be done excellently. He's a slave of time. If a lecture is to start by 1, God will be there. So he cannot tolerate it when you as his mentee, you go late for lectures, or you come late for seminars. If I do it up to now, he fronts at me proposals for fellowships. I take to him. He will go through. If you give him today, you can be sure by tomorrow, later 2 days, he has given you back. How he does it, I don't know. He's very busy, but that's the kind of person he is as a mentor. He has listening ears to you, and you develop from that. You become friends. Some people are afraid of God. I don't know. The Bible says, if you do good, then you should not be afraid of the law. So that kind of when I took up appointment, my office was next to his. So there was no room for me to be lazy, to abscond from office or that kind of thing, because I saw him. God will be there as a good example, as a role model, as a pace setter. In some other departments, when people are saying, when they become professors, they don't teach. Up till his retirement, he's still teaching. And he does it, he refines it, he doesn't use old lectures. Science is dynamic. It's current, very current, more than many of us. And that is why in this department, there is no professor that does not teach. Because we have him as a mentor, as a good example. But I'm sure if he doesn't teach, if he doesn't come for meetings, if he feels that he's failed, those of us that were younger colleagues would have taken after him. So he's a very good mentor, and he has reproduced himself severally. The only area where I feel that maybe Papa will reproduce himself more is in the area of craftsmanship. He tried, but I feel he could have raised more people in the area of writing and winning cards. He has taught us several times, but he should have invited us, to join him in proposal writing and the execution. Not that he should put us without, he won't even do it anyway. If you have not contributed, you will forget it. And that's what, in this department, you don't have people's name to your papers. Because Professor Sonaiya will ask you, what is your contribution to that work? It has helped us as a department, and personally, it has helped me as an individual. What height will have reached if we have senior people that have 50% of Professor Sonaiya's traits? Not a lot of them. And I'm happy and glad that many of his mentees, they are doing well in their endeavors. So he's a grandfather of professors, and he made a niche for himself in family poetry. And that's why in that presentation, he is called the grandfather of family poetry. Worldwide, not only in Nigeria. It was unique. Some other professors said they won't allow you to go, that I can supervise you. Why are you going? They think of themselves, what things of your future, that go abroad, will be a better person. And I think that's the way life should be. So, Prof is a honorable man. He's not perfect, just like I'm not perfect. He has his shortcomings, just like I have mine, you have yours. So that's the way I look at it, at life. But by and large, it's a good mentor.
Personally, I'm aware that he contributed to the restructuring and renovation of the postgraduate lab in his department. I believe it was last year or early this year when he had an end of grant reporting session. He invited a few of us in strategic position. I was representing the linkages office at that meeting, and we were informed that he renovated the postgraduate lab for the department. He's retiring, but he's not tired. And I am very optimistic that his retirement is even going to be more profitable to all of us. I'll give you an anecdote. Paul in the Bible, when he was imprisoned, he couldn't go around more, but those were the times he used to write a lot of the epistles that many of us read today and learn from. So I believe that this time that Professor Sonaiya is retiring, he may not be going all over in grants and so on, but he will be moving into a new phase that will benefit generations yet unborn.
But there was that what we call very fatherly academic guidance. And knowing the plight of young academics, they are totally unguided. They are charting a new terrain. They don't even understand the terrain. They are excited about the new job of being a lecturer. Beyond that, they don't know anything else. For example, the sense of discipline, the sense of commitment, the sense of punctuality to meetings, the basic sense of people going to a meeting with your daughter, the sense of participation, the sense of input, the sense of quality intellectual contribution. Or I have monitored the all through meetings, micro meetings, mega meetings, up to world congresses in Canada, in India, and in Australia. It's the same. There is no small meeting, there is no big meeting. Everything inspired. The punctuality, the altruism, the giving, the guidance, the mentorship. He has done so well. And by example, a man of his words, very kind-hearted, but he will also correct you with brute force if you do the wrong thing. He will not spare you. Ultimately, if you reflect, you know that really this is in your best interest. He has guided us every inch of the way, including every direction of the academia, in grantsmanship, in teaching, in research, in outreach. And some of the aspirations, some of our dreams coming true, we could say through God. God used him as a big time mentor across generations. Our hearts are filled with utmost joy. We want to wish him the best in this new phase of his life, and that this will not be the end of the mentorship to the academic community. That we have monitored him in national and international conferences. He does what we call universal mentoring. Please do not stop. And we just want to wish you very well. We love you with all our hearts, and we want to wish you well.
So congratulations once again, Prof. And like we are jokingly said on last week Wednesday, only waiting for Friday, and then we change the name from Prof to Baba. Baba, God bless you.
I know the Babas of the old, they did their best to get some things done, but not with this kind of indelible marks. I wish also to say happy birthday to him in advance. Because this is the essence of what we are doing. To celebrate his 70th birthday first, and to celebrate his retirement from the system. Sound health, good health, well-being in all his endeavors. So shall it be. In Jesus' name.
Yeah. So this is the kind of person that is willing to share his own knowledge and to encourage you to take decisions. I want to wish him well as he retires. I still see a lot of strength in his physique, in his voice. The strength of his voice is not degrading. He seems to be getting strong. I believe there's still a lot to tap from him, and I want to wish him well in the years ahead.
Thank God for the life of Professor Sonaiya and the time he has spent in the Faculty of Agriculture. He will be remembered for several years to come. I tell you, as he's retiring, we are going to miss him seriously. But the good news, the solace we have is that he has imparted on so many of us. So his legacy lives on.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Thank you very much for that. Yes, thank you very much. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, clearly, sir.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. I said, wow, this is a lot of positive outpourings and also an opportunity for those of us still in the profession to recalibrate. So which of these qualities can we those who could not make an input to make direct contributions from wherever location they are. Dr. Dedire.
But we're expecting to hear from you.
Yes, but I'm going to start with very briefly with Dr. Victor Olori from Scotland. Dr. Olori.
Yeah, can you hear me? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my distinguished professors and teachers. It's a great pleasure.
Yes,
it's a great pleasure indeed to be here and to see what's going on. And I'm really proud and happy to see that Professor Sonaiya has been recognized for who he is and what he is by his colleagues and by his friends and by the university and by his department. And for that reason that we are honoring him today. I thought it was only his students that appreciate what he has been doing, but I can see that everyone really recognizes and appreciates it. And so I thank you all on behalf of all the people who have been able to benefit from his benevolence. In other words, all the students that he has taught and has equipped for life. You've said it all. There's nothing much to add except for me to add the international dimension to the man called Professor E.B. Sonaiya. And many things you have said that he has done in OAU, but there are so many things he has done internationally that has put the name of Obafemi Awolowo University in the map of the world. That people, whenever you talk of Obafemi Awolowo University, it's quite easily recognizable from the animal science point of view because of the work of Professor E.B. Sonaiya. I've seen him since I left Ife. I've seen him several times. We've met in many different places internationally. And many different people I've met and spoken with. And the moment they hear, oh, Ife, oh, you know Professor Sonaiya. And then I just smile. I say, wow, he's my Oga. Well, they don't know the meaning of that. I just say, he's my mentor, he's my teacher. And it makes me really proud. And I think that's what every student looks up to. So I congratulate you, sir, again. And I thank you for your kindness, for your love, and for all you've done. One thing I will add to what everyone else has said is that Professor Sonaiya challenges you, but he doesn't just put obstacles in your way. When I mean challenge, I mean he facilitates you. It's like a mathematical equation. They put it in front of you because they know it's solvable. The equation is there. You just have to be able to connect the dots. So if he gives you an assignment, he will give you all the tools to be able to do that assignment. If you need to do a literature review, he makes his own private collection available to you. And that's when, even when you can't find the books in the university collection or university library, you find them in his own private collection. And he makes them available to you. And that's just amazing, especially in these days that people have to work so hard to get whatever they need. Sonaiya spends his money, buys the books, buys whatever he needs to buy, and if his students need them, he makes them available to him. That is an amazing quality. One of the books that put me in the path of being a quantitative geneticist, I read from his library.
And this was a type, probably that was the only copy in the whole of OAU then. So I thank you all for honoring the man, for recognizing what he is and who he is, and praising him on behalf of all his students. And I just pray that people, at least 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 more, will continue his legacy by being the kind of professor he has been in OAU and continue to put OAU on the map. Thank you all very much for the opportunity, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Bon Victor. Thank you, thank you. I know you needed to adjust your schedule a bit to be able to feature in this program rather. Thank you very much. God bless you. So the names I am calling are random. So I flip through the screen and, okay, I call on Professor Mitogun. Very briefly, 2 minutes, please. Professor Mitogun. Hello? Okay, she's not online. Professor Jebi. Professor Jebi. Okay, it's also not online. Okay, I call on Mayaburu, Temitayo Samuel.
Hello?
From Germany.
Hello?
Samuel.
Okay.
Yes. Who is that Samuel?
No, this. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh.
Professor Ojabi, right?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Yes,
Professor
I'm on.
Then Samuel comes after.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Go ahead.
And thank you very much for this program. Okay, thank you very much. Good morning all again. Just a brief comment on Professor Sonaiya. Like I said in one of the programs, he really mentored me into academics, and I'm grateful to God for that. When I was in the industry, I go to him and say, Prof, I'm coming to academics. He said, no, not yet. Continue what you are doing. You still have more to give them there. I still have more to bring to academics. So eventually, when the opportunity came, and I applied here, and I was offered the job, he was happy. He said, okay, you can now start delivering. And I want to tell you that by the grace of God, when I'm designing my own protocol for projects or experiments I want to do, I look at the way it's going to benefit the non-academic community. And these are the things I just learned from him. We ask you the reason why we want to do this and what is going to be the benefit to the people. And I think we should learn from there. It should be an applied thing that we will be doing, not for only promotion. To can build on that. Now, many people don't understand him because he will ask you for reason for everything you want to do. That's why people don't like listening to it. When you go to that man, we ask you the reason, but you must have reason for living. There must be a purpose for living. And if you don't have a purpose for living, you won't be able to move closer to my prof. And that's who he is. He cannot change. And as such, if you want to get what life is all about, you must have a purpose and a reason for living. That's another thing. Then, what I learned also from him is the issue of training. The last conference we had in Bauchi, we traveled together. I look at this man. He wants to participate in every event so that he can make contribution or still learn. And I think this is something we need to learn also in academics. Many people, when they become professor, no more training, no more conferences, no more thing. Who are the people going to look after that are just coming after them? I think we should learn this, or this is an aspect that is that we need to look at. March, you are embarking together. All the struggle, traveling on the road, traveling by here, man is always with us. And I pray God will give him more strength. And as he's dying, he will not be tired. I will say I'm more to learn from him. God will give you long life, and your family will be blessed with peace, with joy, in Jesus' name. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, dear brother. So is Samuel online now?
Yes, I am, sir.
Please, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, let me say good morning to everybody, and I really appreciate the opportunity given to me by my dear mentor, Professor Hussein. Hello?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay, I appreciate this opportunity given to me by my mentor, Professor Oseni, to share some words about Professor Sonaiya. Yeah, Professor Sonaiya, no doubt, is a phenomenal teacher and a very great asset to us in Ife. You know, I passed through him also. I think I belong to this set. I graduated in the year 2010, and it was a great privilege to have gone through his classes. You know, and one thing that really that I can recall vividly about Professor Sonaiya is commitment to family life. You know, when he's lecturing and if his phone should ring, he does not attend to any phone calls, you know. But when it's only when his wife calls that he picks up and he will tell you, come on, my wife is calling, I have to just attend to this. And that is one thing I have taken away from him personally. And each time I'm at work and any phone call comes in, I don't attend to it. But if that of my wife comes in, I just have to attend to that. I learned that from Professor Shunai, and we are very grateful to you, sir. And I think one of our set members is also here. I dragged him down here, Adiyemi Shodeinde, because Professor Shunaya personally supervised him during his undergraduate thesis, and it will be good to have him say one or two things about Professor also. So one thing I want to wish Professor as he's retiring is good long life for him to be able to enjoy the good works he has done, you know, in the world of academia. We wish you well, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samuel. We call on your classmate, please. Your classmate can go ahead.
Yeah, Adeyemi Shodeinde, if you can hear me, just come on and say
Adeyemi
something about
Shodeinde.
Professor, please.
Samuel, you are from Bonn or Frankfurt?
No, I'm
Where are you
presently in
speaking
Kiel, in the northernmost part of Germany, presently, sir.
You are most welcome.
Yeah,
Hope you
thank you
are
very much.
staying safe.
Yeah, yes, sir. The lockdowns
God
are
bless
here
you.
again, and it's compulsory now.
Yes, we are following.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much. So we Shodeinde can quickly make his input, please.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yes,
yes.
Can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my name is Adiyemi Shodeinde, and just like my friend there was also part of the 2010 sets, and I had the privilege of being supervised by Professor Sonaiya, and just like the professor, I think Olori or something said about
Olori.
his Olori.
Yes, you're right. Go ahead.
I'm sorry about that. I can remember one of my interactions with him. I had issues, and he just pointed to his bookshelf, pick up that book there, and read so, and it was. I was amazed at the way, at how many books he had and how well he could remember. Just pick this book and you would. And it helped me a lot. I could remember also. It taught me how to design and experiment. So when I wrote my master's thesis at the University of Ibadan, it was it was really, really easy for me, to build on the foundation prof set. And he was a great teacher. And even up to today, we still, myself and Temitayo still regard him as one of our best teachers, so from here, for those of us here I think we have graduates of OAU Animal Science, quite a number of us here in Germany, and on behalf of ourselves, we wish our Prof a happy retirement, and we say good health to you, and may you continue to prosper in Jesus' name. Thank you so much for the opportunity given to me. God bless you.
Thank you very much for that. There is a very big personality in our midst who the previous contributors referred to. So it will really not be fair not to listen to a contributor from the home front. So we very respectfully call on Professor Mrs. Sonaiya to make her input. I think this is important.
Yes, please.
For example, some contributions were made. Are they true? Is he a different personality? Your turn, man. Hello, ma'am. Okay. Hello, ma'am. Hello, Professor Mrs.
Not to call her in. I think she's probably not aware
Okay,
that.
sorting out some logistics. Okay,
Yeah.
is Professor Mitogo in the house? Professor Mitogo, Professor Adesanywa.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to say a word or two. I was not aware that I would be talking, but I really want to appreciate all of you for putting up this wonderful, wonderful retirement celebration for my husband. It started last week, Wednesday, with the incredible event put together by the mentees and former students. It was truly, truly, how would I say, mind-blowing, very impressive. Professor Lori gave a fantastic presentation. The arrangement, the organization was wonderful. Professor Odeyinka, who was on ground, did a great job. And we just want to thank you very much for it. And then this week, the whole series of activities, you know, maybe I'm now starting to feel a little bit jealous that I did not stay. I didn't wait till 70 to leave the university. Maybe I too would have been given this kind of great exit, you know, that my husband is getting. But really, I just want to thank you very much. It's been a wonderful journey for us. I've been privileged to have been his companion on his academic journey. I do not know of any other individual as committed an academic as he is. I am not exaggerating, you know. I'm not saying there isn't. I am saying I do not know, you know. I know that all he has done, you know, he's passionate about. He has done his work with great passion, with great commitment. And I have not had opportunity to complain too much, you know, because I understood that this is where his heart is. And if he sometimes forgets to come home on time and things like that, you know, if the dinner gets cold, it's for a good cause. It's because he's putting himself, he's investing himself in other people. And I'm not one to argue with that or to fight against that. So again, I'd just like to say thank you. He's got quite a lot of, what I call you, disciples now, you know, people who seem to have gained one or two things from him and who are following in his footsteps. So it's a good feeling to be retiring and to know that you have done some things that will outlast your time. Yes, so I wish all of you the very best as you continue on your various journeys, whether academic, whether in the private sector. And I pray that, you know, everyone will pursue this excellence, that you will do whatever you're doing with this selfless spirit of just wanting to contribute to your environment, to your community, to invest in the lives of people who are around you. Because ultimately, that's where true satisfaction lies. So we are living Ife very, very satisfied, you know, knowing that we've done our bit. And, you know, we will remember these few days, these couple of weeks for a very long time to come. You can be sure about that. So thank you all again very, very much. Professor Hosseini, for the work you've done. Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. You too, man. Thank you very much, man. Dr. Olori has a very quick contribution. Dr. Olori, please. Go Victor.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Thank you for this privilege. I couldn't let the opportunity pass without responding to the comment from Professor Mrs. Sonaiya here. I have made comments in my somewhere that Professor Sonaiya did what he did because of it was her. In other words, it takes somebody else who understands what the man is doing or what he's planning or what he's doing to allow him to be able to do what he has done. And I think I refer to her as our mother for all of us students that work with her. So we didn't have the opportunity to directly thank you or directly be there for your own retirement. But I assure you, Ma, that we all of us, without exception, believe and accept that it was you who made this possible, because a man must be happy and have a peaceful joy in his heart to be able to do the things that Professor Sonaiya has actually done. I remember one occasion, you talked about going home late for food. I remember one occasion where you actually had to bring the food to the office. I remember myself, Professor Sonaiya, during the presidential task force, we were locked up in his office, busy because we had to meet deadlines. Oga could not go home for his meal, or neither us. And Professor Mrs. Sonaiya got in the car and brought food to the office for us to eat. I mean, I will not forget that day. So thank you very much, Ma, and may the Lord continue to bless you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Is Professor Oshorinyo in the house? Professor Oshorinyo, sir. Okay. Professor Mrs. Omitogun. Professor Omitogun. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, sir. Professor Oshorinyo.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. I hope you are hearing me.
Yeah, clearly, sir.
Yeah, I will say Professor Sonaiya is also my mentor. Well, though we are not in the same field, but every day, every time we meet, is always an opportunity to make me better. So I just want to thank him. I'm going to miss him. He's just part of my family. And we live so close to each other that every minute, every time, I'm always there. So I just want to, Uncle, I just want to say thank you. Auntie, I want to say thank you. I'm going to miss you. You are a lovely uncle to me. God bless you.
God bless you, sir.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We move across generations now. We have Bolu Echo Bank. Is Bolu in the house? Adeni. Okay. It's not, well, we call him Fikayo. ACGG factor. Fikayo. Mr. Fix.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity, sir. I am glad. I want to say congratulations, Prof. It's a privilege working with you as a student. I got to be prof student in an interesting way. He did not teach, he only taught us one class when we were in our undergraduate days, because then he was a director of Center for Distance Learning, I think. And when we were going to come in for our masters, myself and my wife, prof was on leave, accumulated leave. So he wasn't assigned any students. Interestingly, that day we went to see the HOD, then Professor Oseni. We went to see him, and that the prof called Professor saying that, you didn't give me any students. What happened? So that was how myself and my wife became prof's master students. And it was a very good experience for both of us. We learned a lot. We learned a lot for prof. I'm not sure if there is another couple that worked under the same supervisor and had the kind of experience we had. Prof taught us a lot of things. One thing I want to highlight is the fact that he taught me what research means. That's read and search. That has not left me, and that's not going to leave me in any way, because it's something I've kept with myself. And working with him in ACGG was also a very, very good experience for me. I learned a lot of things. He's so tenacious. If something has to be done, it has to be done. It's not about I have excuse. This is why it could not be done. Let's just get it done. And honestly, this has helped me personally. He's thinking about it. I've seen that Prof thinks about you more than you think he's thinking of you. Mm-hmm. He's thinking of what you're doing, what your work is, or about even your family. And when he asks you questions, you better have the answer. Because you'll be ashamed of yourself that you don't have, and you have your life. You're not even thinking of your life. So that keeps me on my toes. That look, guy, you have to be up and doing. You have to be ready. And then you have to deliver. You've worked with Prof. You should represent him properly. Sometimes when I'm having a conversation with my wife, I'm like, if you are doing this thing, if you are going to present this to Prof, is that how you're going to present it to Prof? So it's something that has stayed with us beyond the fact that we're students. And interestingly, today I'm into science communication. I didn't know about science communication before. It was just because Prof mentioned it early last year, that Fikayo, I don't think about science communication. I said, I don't know what that means. I went to check, and today I am fully into science communication. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. It's basically an encapsulation of the things I desire to do. So thank you very much, Prof. We appreciate you on behalf of my wife here, myself, my family, and all of the other children that you have raised. Thank you so much. God bless you. Wish you happy retirement. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Fikayo. Professor Dixon,
God bless
in
you.
the house. Thank you. Professor Dixon.
In the house.
Please go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Thanks so very much for this opportunity. So go to the exit of an academic giant. Professor Sonaiya has been a great teacher, a great mentor, and he has been everything that I can say that are really shaping my academic career. When I joined the system in 1999, he picked a special interest in me, and he challenged me about grantsmanship. And I will never forget the first time that he brought some of us together, myself and some other colleagues in the faculty, and challenged us about grantsmanship. And he took us through one of the IFS grant proposal then. He said through the concept note, so thereafter we couldn't get to the final approval. But sincerely, that really sharpened my grantsmanship tool that made me to win Codestra grants on 2 occasions, and even the highest grants, MWG. And sincerely, I see Prof
as a very disciplined person, highly somebody that will not compromise principle. And for that reason, I know many of my peers may not want to be attracted to him, but I know I could see that in him. Sincerely, university is going to miss a great deal of that, because that is what, with the current generation, we are really missing our environment here. I have no doubt that Prof is moving to underground that will launch these attributes to international and national community. Prof is a great disciplined person. I can remember a time, even in my department, when we had an issue with an undisciplined person, then Prof had to come in. That how could that be in this system? And I really appreciate that in him. And whenever there is any issue that has to do with indiscipline, immorality, I is one of the person in the faculty that one can rely upon that could mediate or intervene on that issue. Prof had been a great researcher. I remember the time I was in Botswana, somebody mentioned his name concerning backyard poultry and family poultry and so on and so forth. And we discussed about it. The developer told me that, you have a great colossus in your faculty, in your university. That man is a very great man. Sincerely, I wish Prof a great future. I have no doubt that he's going to have a brilliant and a wonderful retirement in good health. I also want to thank Professor Mrs. Remi Sonaiya, because I appreciate a woman in a man's life. If there's anything we are celebrating today, it's because the home front is very much in support. Again, I thank Prof also, and I wish the entire family a blossom future in their retirement era. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
For this opportunity to contribute. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Is Professor Ogunkoya in the house? Okay. Professor Mitogun. Okay. Dr. Oluwole, are you in the house? Dr. Oluwole in the house? Dayo Adedayo in the house?
Good morning, sir. This is Oluwole.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. I'm happy
Please
to
go
be
ahead.
here. I'm happy for Prof. He's our father, and I can say that he was the one that God used for me. I remember when I went to him, when I first came to for my master's in animal science, I told him my background, and he told me that I should not worry, that there's somebody they are going to take place in genetics, and she will be able to handle me very well. I thank God for that step. I thank God for him being on my side. At times, I will run away from me, he will call me back. He said, what is the problem with you? I said, nothing, but I don't know. When things look as if it's not possible for me, when I was doing my master's, he encouraged me. He said, well, that's what we call research. So I couldn't find my chromosomes, and I've been going up and down. He said, you have to search for it. And I thank God for him and Professor Pusami at that time, and my supervisor. And the Lord helped me and my supervisor were able to get the chromosomes. And that's how I got the job at IRT. I want to use this opportunity again to say big thanks to you, sir. Everything you have done, everything you have said, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I do not regret the part. Thanks so much. And I also appreciate Mommy too for being beside him. We are very grateful. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Oluwole. Professor Mitogun. Hello? Professor Mitogun. Okay. Professor Ogunkoya. Okay, we have, okay, Dr. Abegunde. Theo. Oh, is it the network now? Who is, okay, Dayo, Adedayo.
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Tio. So we are gradually rounding up now.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Professor Sonaiya. If I was going to represent Prof with a number, it's going to be 1. 1 as in O-N-E. Because Prof is simple, straightforward, firm, honest, is humble and focused. All through my interactions with him, either one-on-one or in meetings, he never ceased to amaze me with his wealth of experience, his thoughtfulness, his thoroughness, his wisdom, which were really needed in solving some of the knotty issues, during some of our meetings. Prof struck me, with an experience I had with him shortly after I got employed into OAU. 2 weeks precisely, he called me into his office and we sat down and discussed for 2 hours I didn't even know we had spent 2 hours, and we discussed at length. The first thing he asked me as soon as I entered was, "Now you are here, what next?" I told him, I said, "Well, I'll work very hard to become a professor." I said, no. As long as you are here, you will become a professor, but what will you do to impact people's lives? And that struck me. That struck me since then, and it has impacted on my research. Before I do any research, I look at what it would do to impact on people's life. Prof would always, be ready to help you. As a young researcher, we would prefer that you fight him, but you must succeed. He's always very open. If you are doing well, Prof will encourage you. And if you are not doing well, he will reprimand you. He will not spare you. He will reprimand you, and I just love him for that. Prof, you have impacted on my life, and I thank you for all that you have done for us. I remember the way you asked me to pack any of the books on your shelf, and that we should also remember the departmental library in packing those books. And I just want to thank you. You're a giver, very generous. I thank you so much, sir. And I wish you the best in your retirement. I wish you long life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tio. We're gradually rounding up now. So we call on Professor Adeseyin, then the Dean will make his concluding remarks to this session. Professor Adeseyin, please.
Thank you very much, Professor Seni. It has been a wonderful time. If I must speak at all, I want to thank God that I am privileged to be part of the story of the life of Professor E.B. Sonaiya. I can see definitely has impacted so many lives, and I happen to be one. I just saw a younger colleague now display with the wife, and then how he mentored the two. My wife is not an animal scientist. He has a PhD in guidance and counseling in education. But before I got married, I have been privileged to learn and glean from Professor Sonaiya. Even when I was to marry, he wanted to know the kind of a woman I will marry, because he will definitely, he believes he knows me, and he believes he wants to know the kind of a woman that will be married to me. I never did any of my degree programs in Ife, so that will shock everybody. But our level of closeness, I think I thank God for it. Today that we happen to be witnessing this, I haven't gone through the farm and all here. He has not only impacted life. Look at what is leaving behind. And like Professor Torimiro mentioned. There are certain attributes and qualities that are lacking in the current generation and in certain breed of academic. I think the legacy that Professor Sonaiya is leaving behind is one that is worth emulating by all. Because how many scientists today still give? How many think of the other person, not just training the younger ones? That is equally very important. In terms of fairness to the system that we work in, Professor Sonaiya has displayed some level of completeness. And again, we talk about bringing the gown and the society. When you look at Professor Sonaiya personified, we are talking of rural poultry today at various international fora where we've met. When you see the attention given to rural poultry, just because of Professor Sonaiya, when you get to WPSA today, mention rural poultry, oh, Sonaiya, EB. And he has been able, not just at that academic level, he has been able to take that to the level of the farmers. So today we have chickens. Maybe we'll talk about Funab Alpha, and then we'll talk about ACCG, the activities of ACCG, how it has impacted these poultry farmers at the local level. You can't take this away from any of those people who had the privilege of benefiting from what he brought into the system. So I want to crave the indulgence of every one of us for this opportunity that I have, that all colleagues should embrace to leave a legacy behind. Because for me, this is a great challenge. Looking at what has started since last week up until today, I just keep appraising myself before I get to him. Because after this, I know, yes, sit down. Because at any point in time, Professor Sonaiya gives me a call. Akin, where are you? Can you see me on so-so date? Meet me at Ife so-so time. And that is it. It's settled. So I know I will still be facing some of those things, but it's a challenge to me that I still have a long way to go. So I believe for other colleagues of mine looking at the present situation that we have found ourselves. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Professor AOK. Thank you so much, sir. So we really must begin to draw the curtain now. So we are going to call on the Dean of the faculty. Actually, this is a faculty or university event. So the Dean of the faculty will appreciate all contributors and then draw the curtain, hopefully. Dean of Agric.
Thank you, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Oseni. I will start from you. You are my very good friend and colleague. And I want to appreciate you, Professor S.O. Oseni, our own S.O., for doing a yeoman's job. In short, it's as if somebody took you somewhere, maybe in the US or UK, to teach you what you are doing. You are just excellent on this job. May God bless you.
Thank you so much.
I want to appreciate all the contributors, all the people who have participated, chipping in one thing or the other. I presume that if we stay online for the next 2 hours, we will keep talking about Professor Sonaiya, because God has helped him so much. He has done so well. He has impacted generations. Almost forgot that we have a program this morning. Thank God Professor Oseni called me to remind me when the program was starting. I thought it was going to be 2 p.m. So he now reminded me that there is a 10 a.m. and there is a 2 p.m. So thank you very much. I appreciate everyone. I wish I was in a position to grade Professor Sonaiya, but who am I? You know, when Professor Sonaiya became dean in 1999, July, I was assistant lecturer. You can imagine.
such a big gap, and I could walk to his office, seek his opinion on issues, interact with him on the corridor, in the office, anywhere. So such a great man. If I were to give him a grade, you can imagine I would give him 98.9A. But that's just an imagination. I'm not in a position to grade him. I want to also thank our mommy, Professor Mrs. Sonaiya, who I knew, quite a number of years ago. I thank God for her too. In short, the combination is a serious one. When Professor Mrs. Sonaiya speaks on any issue, you almost take your jotter and be jotting down some things because you are going to learn something from her. So I thank the faculty members. I thank colleagues from IR&T, from outside the country, from every part of the world who have taken time to join this Zoom meeting, Zoom interaction. I pray that your strength shall never be abated. And I want to again thank our retiring professor that we are celebrating today. I just believe that even in your retirement, you will still continue to make impact even more than you have made while you are in active service of the Obafemi Awolowo University. Wherever you are, we are going to locate you, whether in Germany, in Lagos, in Ibadan, in Ife. Thank God there is Zoom. We are going to Zoom and continue to interact with you, sir. God bless you. Prof. Osedi, thank you for doing a good job. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. See you at 2 p.m.
Before then, sir, thank you, my dear. Before we close, sir, there's a quick adjustment. I want to plead. Somebody gave an inaugural lecture at OAU that you cannot shave a man's head in his absence. So we quickly want to hear from the celebrant. Apologies for this omission, sir. So please, sir, the floor is open, sir. Professor Ibi Sonaiya.
Thank you, Professor Seni. I thought my inaugural lecture is tomorrow, or my validity lecture is tomorrow. But if you want me to give it now, I will give it. Short of that, I just want to thank you for your generosity. I am really, really appreciative. For whatever I may have done, it is the grace of God. And you could just take it and go away. But you have invested time and energy just to express your appreciation. The Lord will reward all of you. Thank you very much. I don't think this is the time for me to speak. Tomorrow is my day. Yes. And this day belongs to you. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. So we want to conclude on the AM program. The PM program is even richer. It's starting by 2 p.m. We have scientific presentation. We have a book launch. We have the presentation of the compendium. And then we have other beautiful programs. There are scientific presentations from some of the former supervisors and mentors from Canada and the US and from Nigeria. And then there is the book, whole book on animal products and the industry. That will be launched. And then we have a presentation of the compendium, which is a collection of every conceivable publication by the celebrant. So we appeal to you to join us again by 2 p.m. On behalf of the HOD and the Dean, we want to draw this program to a close now. God bless all of us. Thank you and bye for now.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. God bless you all. Professor Adesanya, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Also Kritik im Sinne, nicht Kritik im Sinne negative.
This is the legacy building. This building, prior to March, it is my pleasure, to actually commission this modern MOT facility. Amen. Son, amen.
We have the class and we have all